Okay, everybody. I wasn't sure I was going to talk about this issue, but I do feel that it's important to do so now. But I'm kind of going to, just be quick with it overall, or at least try to be. And what I'm going to talk about is some of these mass shootings in a way. And like I said, I know everybody's talked about it, but I want to give my opinion on certain things. First of all, I want to say that the events that have happened over the past few weeks, over the past month with these mass shootings are horrible. These things are horrible. These people dying is horrible. It really, truly is. And now, I'm not heartbroken, but I am saddened. Uh, as usual, the media is doing its very best to make this tragedy into a full 24-hour a day, 7-day a week news cycle because they've got nothing else better to do, I guess. I mean, Biden's a shit, so I guess they got nothing else better to talk about. But first of all, what I want to say is some of the gun control you hear people talking about. We need to get the weapons of war. That's the newest term. We need to get these weapons of war off the streets. We got to have better gun control laws, universal background checks, shit like that. Well, first of all, let me explain something to you. This whole weapons of war term that they're using, assault rifles, military style guns, we need to get off the street. It's bullshit. I spent a portion of the day looking this stuff up. What's the difference between a military weapon, military grade weapon, and a civilian grade weapon? After about an hour of searching and reading, I discovered a very saccharine truth. There is almost no physical difference. Yes, that's right. So, a gun in the hands of a soldier that was specifically given to him by his military commanders, and he is told to go shoot the enemy, is really no different from the average AR-15 or average handgun that a civilian has. They both perform the exact same function of shooting a projectile at high speed at a target. Now, what are some of the differences? First difference is select fire. All handguns and most rifles in the United States only fire are single shot. Every time you pull the trigger, bullet exits barrel. That's it. Now, some rifles, especially if you've got a special permit or license, can do semi-auto, which means every time you pull the trigger, it fires 3 bullets. 1 full trigger pull equals 3 bullets coming out of the chamber. Other than that, everything else is pretty much single fire. The military rifle, so let's say a military AR-15, Armalite Rifle 15, Model 15, has a switch on the side of it, generally on what would be considered the right side, where you can switch between single shot, semi-automatic, or referred to as burst fire, or fully automatic. Fully automatic means you pull that trigger and keep it held down, and it'll keep firing bullets until the clip is empty. Not the magazine, you dumb chuckle fucks. And let's say Armalite 15 has a 15 bullets in the clip. Guess what the average soldier has? 15 rounds in a clip. No big difference here, folks. Not one big fucking difference at all. Now, there is one more difference. Durability. The military has rifles that you drop it in the dirt, drop it in the sand, drop it in the mud, drop it in the water, pull it out a day or two later, pull it out a few seconds later, you just shake the water off a little bit, shake the dirt off or the mud off, bam, 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 back to firing again. They're made to be durable like that. Now, why are they made to be so durable? Because the military, contrary to popular opinion, doesn't like spending money on new guns. I can tell you right now, ask your common soldier, how old is your gun, soldier? It's about 5 or 6 years old, but I've only been in the military 3 years. I got it from somebody else. Yeah, that's how we do. That's how the military does. They do not go out and buy brand new guns. Gun manufacturers aren't making stronger handguns every other month or every other year. Oh, here's our newest brand new high firepower model of such and such. No. Because there's no need. There's no need. The bullets that we have now, even the most powerful bullet that could be put inside a handgun, has been around for at least 10 years. They haven't made it more powerful. They just don't do it. Because there's no need. You're shooting something. As long as the bullet can penetrate the target, there's really not a need to do much more. Now you have different grades, different millimeters, whatever, of fire, of bullets. With the highest, most powerful being a anti-material rifle bullets. Suckers go through fucking brick walls and hit a target on the other damn side. Go through tank armor. Yeah. But nobody's buying that shit. That's $1,000 a fucking bullet. Nobody wants to buy that. Depleted uranium rounds? Nobody's buying that. Now, I could understand, if we ban anti-material rifles, nobody's really going to buy them anyway. Who's going to buy an anti-material rifle? For home defense? I doubt that very seriously. I really do. So now you know, there really isn't a difference. So all those scary military-style rifles, it's bullshit. It's the AOCs and probably Dan Crenshaw and a few of these other idiots out here using those terminologies. Makes you wonder if they know what the fuck they're talking about. Well, Dan Crenshaw should know. I know AOC doesn't fucking know. He doesn't fucking know for shit. So now, well, gun control. What gun control could we enact? None. It's already said you can't have a standard civilian cannot walk around with a fully automatic or even semi-automatic handgun or rifle at the moment. Now, you can go to the federal government and spend at least $2,000 to get a permit that you could allow you to keep such a weapon. And some of these weapons, you can modify them to make them fully automatic or semi-automatic. I don't know how to do that, though. Honestly, I do not. I don't even own a gun. All of my guns are at my parents' house, which is many, many minutes away. Trust me. Trust me on that one. All I have is swords. Fully automatic swords. They just jump right off the wall and they just start cutting people up whenever I say so. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But there's really no gun control laws that they can do. Oh, well, what about universal background checks? We already have that. We already have universal background checks. When you go into a store, pawn shop, gun shop, to buy a gun, you have to wait 10 days. And during those 10 days, they do a background check. And if you've got a criminal record, it's not only in the federal database, but it's also in the state database. So if the person at the gun shop, gun store, pawn shop, whatever, does their diligence, they're going to find if you've got a crime that doesn't allow you to have a gun. Plain and simple, folks. Okay, so we've already done everything background check-wise we can do. Do some people slip through the cracks? Yeah. Now, the only other thing is, and I've heard AOC and a couple other people, well, maybe we need to stop these straw gun purchases. Straw gun purchase is a nice way of saying, hey, I go down the street to my neighbor. He's got 5 or 6 guns. I give him $500. He gives me one of his guns. I don't have to go tell the cops unless I just want to. That's what they want to stop. Because, how many people are doing that, though? Very few, probably. Now, there are legal gun sales. Let's just put it this way. I have firsthand knowledge that you can go into certain neighborhoods where the majority of people are of a slightly darker skin tone, and you can talk to one of the local thugs or pharmaceutical people, and they will give you a gun for $200. I'm not saying you should go do that, but I'm just saying it's possible. How are you going to block that? How are you going to gun control legislation that shit? You're not. So all this gun control legislation, other than outright banning guns, it's not going to happen. They can talk and talk, AOC and all these other Democrats and Republicans, and yak, all they want. But it's just not going to happen. And now into my final point. I think the problem we have in our society is that we are not addressing the nature of these crimes directly and correctly. we're not saying up front what this is. This is an act of evil. As I've been watching some of the coverage over the last few days, as I've been reading articles and look over, I never hear anybody say this was an act of this atrocity was an act of evil. The person who did this was purely evil. No. We're trying to find some way to make this not as bad as it could be. It's not really that bad, guys. It's not really that bad, guys. Come on, guys. It's not really that bad. He did a horrible thing, but he was troubled. He was traumatized. He had been bullied. Doesn't matter. He still did something evil. And the quicker we get to this point where we can start saying that people who do these things are evil, we'll be a lot better off. I mean, I still haven't seen anyone call the guy who did the run over at a Christmas parade of a bunch of white people. Nobody's called him evil yet. They found every other damn excuse in the book to nearly justify what this man did. Nearly justify what this man did. I think I've only heard 2 people call the Buffalo shooter evil, while they're also calling him white supremacist, Republican, Trump supporter bullshit. It doesn't matter if the guy was a full-on MAGA hat-wearing nut job. He still did something evil. But that's the problem with the left right now. They do not want to admit to evil, and here's why they do not want to admit to evil. If you have to admit that something is evil, that means you have a moral foundation. Once you have a fucking moral foundation, then everyone can turn around and say, okay, now we have a moral foundation as to what is good and what is evil. Let's start building off that. Murder, mass murder, is an evil act. The Holocaust was an evil act. Okay, so then that means the guy who's grooming the kids in school, that's evil. The guy who rapes is evil. The guy who molests children is evil. And the left can't abide by that, because once you have a fucking moral foundation as to what is good and what is evil in this world, then people can come to you and tell you that what you're doing is wrong, right, good, or evil. And they can't have that. They can't have that. They cannot have somebody calling them out and saying, hey, look, dude, that's evil. That's evil. That's evil. Oh, God, no. I think it's okay. Motherfucker, it's evil. Okay, it's evil. And the lowest tier of this good versus evil argument, what is good, what is evil, is, of course, abortion. Is killing a baby? Is aborting a child? Is that evil? Well, if you are aborting the kid 10 years after it's born with a gun, is that evil? Yes, that's evil. Everyone would agree that's evil. Then how is aborting the kid at 8 months evil? How is it not evil? You see where this is going now? See, the nature of evil has to be addressed. If we don't address the nature of evil, if we don't say this is good, this is evil, then these things will continue to happen. Now, Sargon recently said in one of his videos, well, the child who is not embraced by the village will return one day to burn the village to the ground. Paraphrasing a bit. I believe he's right. Some of these young men, these guys 18 to 20 years old who are doing some of these shootings, some of them have been atomized, pushed out of society, and they hate society now. They feel abandoned, bullied, alone, and this is their revenge. This is their striking back. That's sad, but it's still evil. It's still evil. And I want everyone to understand that. Just because you were bullied, treated like shit, your mom was addicted to drugs, your grandma slapped you around and beat you, what the fuck ever, it doesn't justify you going out to a local elementary school and killing 14 children. It doesn't justify it. You're just as evil as your parents, or the village, or what the fuck ever. You're still evil. And you have to accept that. And we have to accept that. Now, are we going to be able to stop all of this shit from happening? No, we're in the last days. Okay, folks? We are in the last days. And I'm going to get a little biblical here. But we were warned that these things were going to happen in the Bible in Revelations. In the last of days. One of the most prominent verses in Revelations is, and in those days, in the last days, what is declared to be evil will be declared good, and what is declared good will be declared evil. What is right shall be wrong, and what is wrong shall be right. And we're there. We're getting there real fucking quick. We're already fucking there if you see some of this shit going on in this country. We're real damn fucking close. If we can take a black guy who goes out and mows down 12 people in a Christmas parade and come up with all sorts of fucking excuses for why he did it, but then the kid that walks into a white kid who walks into a Buffalo supermarket and kills 7 people and gets arrested, then we turn around and like, oh my God, he was the most horrible, evil, Nazi Hitler man, Trump. What the fuck is wrong with you people? The guy who mowed down 12 people in the car, the black guy, I guess he didn't fit your narrative. So you just tried to ignore that or come up with excuses for his evil. Well, you're running out of excuses, guys. Do not be surprised if the next shooter is some black dude, okay, who loved Obama and hated Trump. I mean, what are you going to do then? What are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with that? Well, Trump treated him so badly by just existing, he had to go out and kill a bunch of people. I wonder what Whoopi Goldberg would say about that. Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus Christ. Lord help us. I will be praying for our country as best I can. All right, folks, we're at 16 minutes here with this video. Coming up on 17. And I'm going to see if I can put in one more video. All right, everybody. Take care.